Hi everybody, welcome to this day in history. If this sounds different than normal shows that we've done, it's because I'm on my headphones. If you like that better or like that worse, like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comments section below what you guys think. So we're just trying new things here at thescottshow.com. We are going to be talking about this day in history. It is the 8th of February. Now, some people listen to this the day after, but that's okay. We try to get this show out before 11 o'clock every morning. So just a heads up, sometimes on Saturdays we can't exactly do that. Just giving you guys some insight. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go right to the events. Talk about Constance III becomes the co-emperor of the Western Roman Empire back in 421. All that many years ago. 421. Oh, I'm actually going to look this up. Alright, so the Mongols burned the Russian city of Vladimir in 1238. In 1347, the Byzantine Civil War of 1341 through 47 ends with a power-sharing agreement between John VI and John V. In 1587, Mary, the Queen of Scots, is executed on suspicion of being involved in the Babington plot to murder her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I. In 1693, the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, is granted a charter by King William III and Queen Mary II. In 1837, Richard Johnson becomes the first Vice President of the United States, chosen by the U.S. Senate. Now, I wanted to look this up a little bit and find out exactly how this works. He apparently was the 9th Vice President of the United States. I never heard of the guy. It's just crazy. And the president was Martin Van Buren. So, there you go. A little history there that I didn't even know. In 1865, Delaware refuses to ratify the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. Slavery is outlawed in the United States, including Delaware, when the amendment was ratified with the number of states. And they ratified it finally in 1901, which was the 92nd anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. In 1879, the England cricket team, led by Lord Harris, is attacked during a riot during a match in Sydney. In 1885, the first government-approved Japanese immigrants arrived in Hawaii. In 1887, the Dawes Act authorizes the President of the United States to survey tribal land and divide it into allotments. In 1910, the Boy Scouts of America is incorporated by William Boyce. In 1950, D.W. Griffith's film The Birth of a Nation premieres in Los Angeles. 1922, Warren G. Harding introduces the first radio set in the White House. Capital punishment. The first state execution via gas chamber takes place in Nevada. Can't wait to do some reading on that. 1942, Japan invades Singapore. 1945, the United Kingdom and Canada commence Operation Veritable to occupy the west bank of the Rhine River. In 1946, the first portion of the Revised Standard Version of the Bible, the first serious challenge to the popularity of the authorized King James Version, is published. Now I think the NIV might be a little bit more popular than that. In 1950, the Stasi, the secret police of East Germany, is established. In 1952, Queen Elizabeth II is proclaimed Queen of the United Kingdom. I believe that's when she came back from Kenya. In 1955, in Pakistan, they abolish way of a system in a province, and they give land, over 1 million acres of land, to landless peasants. In 1960, Queen Elizabeth II issues an order in council stating that her family would be known as the House of Windsor, and her descendants will take the name Mountbatten Windsor. Because her, I believe, Prince Philip, that's his last name, Mountbatten. And I will double check that for sure, just as I do. And that's exactly what it is. Alright, now getting back to this day in history. In 1963, travel, financial, and commercial transactions by citizens to Cuba were made illegal by the Kennedy administration. 1965, Eastern Airlines Flight 663 crashes into the Atlantic Ocean and explodes, killing everyone on board. 1971, the NASDAQ stock market index opens for the first time. 1974, after 84 days in space, the crew of Skylab 4, the last crew to visit American Space Station Skylab, returns to Earth. And I'm also very interested in that, so I'm going to look it up. 1978, the proceedings of the Senate in the United States are broadcast on radio for the first time ever. 1983, the Melbourne dust storm hits Australia's second largest city. The result is the worst drought on record, with the day of severe weather conditions. A deep dust cloud envelops the city, turning day into night. In 1993, General Motors sues NBC over Dateline. NBC allegedly rigs two crashes intended to demonstrate that some of their pickups can easily catch fire, and NBC takes care of that suit the very next day. 1996, U.S. Congress passes the Communications Decency Act. And moving forward, in 2013, a blizzard interrupts transportation and leaves hundreds of thousands of people without electricity in the northeast of the United States and parts of Canada. So we're going to leave that on that note in 2013, where we had a blizzard with, not as many deaths as we like to talk about. Apparently, this day in history talks about a lot of them. But we will go to some births to bring up here, and we are going to go down the list and see Jules Verne, born this day in history, 1828. As we go further down the list, we will find the oldest person still with us that has a Wikipedia page. And I am not even going to... The person who it is Albanian politician Hoxha. That's the last name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name or first name. It begins with an N. But happy birthday to that person, born 1921. We do have Freddie Blassie, who was born this day in history, Audrey Meadows, Jack Lemmon. So lots of names just kind of there. James Dean, born this day in history. Nick Nolte, Ted Koppel, Roger Lloyd Pack, who was one of my favorite British actors. Also, Brooke Adams, it's her birthday today as well. Jim Neidhart, Mary Steenburgen, married to Ted Danson. Sherry Martell, it's her birthday today. Dino Ciccarelli from hockey. Gary Coleman, Mary McCormick. The Big Show, Paul White, it's his birthday. Seth Green, happy birthday to Seth Green. You hear him on TV a lot more than you would even imagine. Cicely Strong, happy birthday to Cicely Strong. Julio Jones, happy birthday to Julio. And Kennedy, Born this day in history. Amazing stuff. Alright, and we're going to go cover just a few deaths. Peter the Great died this day in history. 1725. Connie Mack, famous baseball player, died 1956. And as we go a little further down the list here, we will also see that Anna Nicole Smith died this day in history. Interesting life she lived altogether. Dill Shannon also died this day in history as well. So that is just a few people that we cover here on the Scott Show. It is Proposed Day. It's a whole bunch of other feast day for I think it's saints. So check that out. I want to thank you guys for checking out thescottshow.com and checking out this day in history. We'll see you guys soon, very soon, here on the Scott Show.